This bulletin proudly brought to you in association with Alex Campbell's Menswear.
Tonight on the South Today, where there's a will, there's a way. The Ocho Chocolate team are given the keys to their new factory. A new event added to the Burt Munro Motorcycle Challenge attracts huge numbers to Tiratonga Park. And some old boys go back to school to help celebrate a very special anniversary. Kia ora, good evening, I'm Melissa Barton. The keys were handed over to the Ocho Chocolate team at the site of their new factory today. Production is set to begin at the new site from August. Roselle LeBone has more.
The boutique Ocho chocolate brand opened the doors to its new factory site today. Purchasing the building is the next phase in retaining chocolate making in Dunedin. Ocho's new site here at 14 Roberts Street is a 600 metre square space with sufficient room for production and a tourist venture for the first few years. Ocho founder and general manager Liz Rowe says the site has capacity for chocolate production, a factory tour and a cafe.
Where we walk in will end up being the retail cafe space. Then off to the right there's a smaller sort of area group of rooms which will be probably a tasting room, maybe some offices and staff areas, and then this space out the back here which will be the production space.
Dunedin City Councillor Jim O'Malley and a team of volunteers set out to buy the Cadbury factory, which is set to close this year. Talks failed, but O'Malley says the Cadbury closure isn't where the story ends.
Originally I talked about replicating Cadbury's, but as I've come across down this journey, I've started to feel that the future of chocolate manufacturing is along the lines of the craft chocolate anyway.
About 3,500 shareholders nationwide bought $2 million worth of shares in Ocho in November, but O'Malley says the company's still some way off owning the building freehold.
The model has us running in a negative for the first 12 months based on really the commitment to the equipment and building the market back up.
Once the factory opens, the aim is for its staff of 10 to produce a tonne of chocolate every week. Roselle LeBone, The South Today.
33-year-old Chilean tourist Jorge Riquelme Cruz has been convicted of flying a drone over a Wanaka scrub fire last month. The man's actions using the drone to take photos of the fire forced several helicopters to temporarily abandon their firefighting efforts due to safety concerns. Cruz pleaded guilty in the Hamilton District Court today and he was due to be sentenced later this afternoon. A new event added to the Invercargill's Burt Munro Motorcycle Challenge attracted huge numbers to Tiratonga Park last night. The Twilight Drag Racing event was run in perfect conditions and Sharon Rees was there.
2 by 2, motorcycles of every kind lined up to drag down the quarter mile at Invercargill's Tiratonga Park.
I'm standing in front of a sea of motorcycles at the first Burt Munro Twilight Drag Racing Night at Tiratonga, where organisers say they've attracted more numbers than ever expected.
It's been a few years since we've had this number, but going forward I can see it developing into a big event. The motorcycle fraternity is awesome. And they really come together for this sort of thing, and you generally find most of them have got each other's backs too, so it's good banter, it's good humour, and we get to do what we love and get on the bikes and give it to it.
Moving the Burt Munro Challenge from November to February opened an opportunity for Southern Dragways to join the motorbike fun.
Yeah, it's been a great marriage. You know, it's a whole lot of like-minded people doing like-minded stuff. Burt himself was a great drag racer, so it's nice to be here honouring him doing that.
He said the motorcycles were reaching incredible speeds on the track.
You'll probably get around 160 mile an hour at the tail end, and you'll be getting around that sort of 9-second mark for 440 metres, which is absolutely hauling.
Jones said there were big plans in the making for the event in the future, and he expected drag racing to really pick up in the south. The Burt Munro Challenge heads to Ariti Beach today for its main event, the New Zealand Beach Racing Champs. Sharon Rees, The South Today.
The Dunedin City Council is advising against swimming at the Andersons Bay Inlet following last week's flooding. The council says wastewater discharges from last Thursday's weather event are no longer affecting water quality in Dunedin. They say results indicate most harbour and coastal beach sites meet national standards for swimming and recreational use, but Andersons Bay Inlet remains unsuitable for swimming. Public Health South advises some shellfish in the harbour may still be unsuitable for consumption. John McGlashan College in Dunedin has begun its centenary celebrations. Roselle LeBone caught up with some of the college's old boys this afternoon.
The sound of a bagpiper welcomed the old boys of John McGlashan College back to school for the start of centenary celebrations this afternoon. The single-sex boys' school was founded in 1918 by women. McGlashan, who was Dunedin's first lawyer, had two daughters, Margaret and Agnes, who in 1902 bequeathed their home for the purpose of establishing a private boys' school under the Presbyterian Church. Today, over 500 Year 7 to 13 day boys and boarders attend the school. The college was busier than usual this week thanks to the arrival of old boys from all around New Zealand and overseas.
I've got a lot of lifetime friends from the school, so yeah, it's good to catch up with some old mates.
And to see friends, see people I haven't seen for probably 55 years, some of them.
For the last 7 years I've been living in Perth, so been up all night flying over.
I feel that we have made a contribution to a school which is going very, very well. So that's quite neat, and I love to hear the sound of the pipes.
Activities this weekend include a golf tournament, school tours, photos and a special dinner. The centenary began with a Founders' Day chapel service where staff and students celebrated some of the extraordinary pupils who attended the school, including Sir Elon Edgar. A new cup was dedicated in honour of old boy Ted Friedlander, managing director of Hallensteins and Glassons, who died this January aged 95. Quoting the book of Matthew, "Well done, good and faithful servant," the Reverend Barry Kelk praised the old boys, who he says have left their mark on the world through their humility. Roselle LeBone, The South Today.
Still to come on The South Today. Back from the ashes of a devastating fire, a greymouth sawmill is fully operational again. And could this be the future Dunedin sound as young musicians combine for an all-ages show in South Dunedin?
For all your news from the southern regions as it happens, go to our Facebook page. The South Today, connecting you with your community thanks to New Zealand On Air.
Hi, Lindsay here from Alex Campbell Menswear. Once again, we've opened up a pop-up store in George Street, right beside McDonald's. We've got up to 70% savings on normal retail. There's some great buys. We have socks right through to suits, everything in between. We'll see you there. The Alex Campbell Menswear pop-up. Don't miss it.
Every reason, every season, we're proud to dress the region. Alex Campbell Menswear, it fits.
For 3 generations, the Kilpatrick family have ensured Jimmy's pies are still world famous in the South Island. Made to an old family recipe, Jimmy's pies have been one of New Zealand's traditional takeaway foods, prepared daily on the premises alongside a range of savouries, sausage rolls and cakes. Jimmy's pies are distributed throughout the lower South Island. Jimmy's pies are sure to satisfy your travelling munchies.
While you're relaxing this holiday season, Ready Lawn is available to help you with your lawn needs, big or small. We work so you don't have to. Call Ready Lawn today.
Free heart transmission. Please open your heart. She is flowing freely. She is nourishing. She is loving. Call Sunny Chin for peace in your heart.
Gillian's Care. They care for loved ones, families, friends and our community. At a time of bereavement, care and support makes all the difference, and Gillians know this. They're here for you when you need it most. From advanced funeral planning to a service for your loved one, Gillians will guide and assist you with your individual choices. Their legendary attention to detail and passion to get it right are second to none. Gillians, caring for families in our communities since 1962.
At the Hard to Find Bookshop, we sell quality books on all subjects from the rare to the recent, and where viable, we will come to you. We have a great reputation for integrity and honesty, so if you're downsizing or sorting an estate and have books to sell, contact us.
The Terminus Apartments, where heritage meets modern sophistication and where the past is Dunedin's future. These 1 or 2 bedroom apartments are fitted with modern amenities, room to move and spectacular harbour and city views. Contact us now to have your piece of luxury.
Thinking of services for older people? Think Enliven. Enliven is a service philosophy where people come first. Enliven is about choice, activity, relationships, respect and security. You can enliven your health, your friendships, your life, no matter what your age. For more information, go to psotago.org.nz or call 4777 115.
Calling all Otago superheroes, the 2018 Relay for Life needs your team. On March 17 and 18, the relay teams will join together to create one of the most inspiring events, helping not only to raise funds but also to remember those who have fallen to cancer or are struggling with it. To register your team, simply go to the website and sign on, then start fundraising. It's about celebrating, remembering and fighting back. Be a superhero and register now at relayforlife.org.nz.
Welcome back. A Greymouth sawmill is now fully operational following a devastating fire last year. The South Today went for a look.
The West Coast sawmill owned by West Timber at Ngāhere was badly damaged by fire 7 months ago. Today, the mill is back in full operation, employing almost 40 local workers. Phil Gibson owns West Timber along with his cousin Paul and says that staff and investors have helped them meet the challenge of rebuilding.
We've managed to keep going as best we can. Hasn't been easy, but luckily we've got some great staff and people in behind us that have we've all come together, and this is sort of getting towards the end of the result of it.
At this point, both the wood sorting table and a roof over it are just a temporary construction.
I've got the temporary smart shelter here, which has sort of kept the sun off the boys, especially this summer. You know, we've really needed that for the rain and the sun.
While most of the logs are supplied by Ngāi Tahu, none are native trees. Instead, the West Coast Mill is proud to be milling only FCC certified pine trees.
You know, people want to know that the trees are sustainably logged, and for every log they cut down, you know, they replant obviously, so the cycle continues.
West Timber and their staff are certainly pleased that business is almost back to normal. Rudy Adrian, The South Today.
A collection of young Dunedin musicians are banding together to play an all-ages show at a South Dunedin school. Tomorrow evening, the hall at Bathgate Park School will reverberate to the future sound of Dunedin.
1 for the money, 2 for the show, 3 to get ready, now go cat go. That's a musical reference, which none of these bands will understand. Seen here in a production meeting, Dunedin school bands Bark Like a Dog, The Rambler, Sun Animals, Sugar-Coated Bullets and Bathgate's own Tāwhaki are to perform in the school's hall tomorrow evening. Bark Like a Dog's Alex Cochran says that the event follows a chat with Bathgate Park's Hiliako Yahito.
And I thought it'd be a great idea to help other bands as well as ourselves to have a gig and some more experience and just a bit of a fun event.
Boys being boys, as Alex answers a question about the band's progress, Matthew Reid didn't see this coming.
We're probably going to be playing about 3 or 4 new songs. So.
Bark Like a Dog's modern, multifaceted rock sound will be balanced with the American West Coast punk of Sugar-Coated Bullets. The band's singer says these events are all about putting on a good show and not about competing with other bands.
Not really. I mean, no one really cares. Like, there's no like rivalries or anything, or like proving who's better. Because especially for the different genres, it's like, you know, it's hard to compare like a hardcore punk like us to like Bark Like a Dog or something.
Sun Animals and The Rambler round out the quartet of high school bands, and opening the evening tomorrow will be Bathgate Park's own band Tawhaki. Even though Michaela Salan has left to go to high school, her and singer Paige Boyle say they'll keep playing music together.
I guess it's nerve-wracking just because they are older and like we're still young.
The Southern Fresh Inter High School Orientation event begins in the Bathgate Park School Hall at 5 p.m. Saturday, February the 10th. Daryl Baser, The South Today.
After the break on The South Today, we catch up with some women motorbike enthusiasts competing in the Burt Munro Challenge, and staying with the girl power theme, we meet one of the youngest Winter Olympians taking on the giant slalom event at the age of 16.
Here is this week's Mole Map UV report. Did you know New Zealanders have the highest incidence rate of melanoma in the world?
If you've ever been on a sunbed or been badly sunburnt, what are the chances you could have melanoma? Remove the doubt. Get a Mole Map.
Oh, I'm not happy with this product demonstration, Ralphie. Oh, relax. It's all about balance. The balance between softness and strength. And my balance is perfect. So we won't fall? Of course not.
Hi, Ralphie.
Oh, hey there. Whoa. You fell for it. Yep, I fell for it. Cotton Softs. Softness and strength you can trust. I'm Cotton Soft on the environment too.
Hi, Lindsay here from Alex Campbell Menswear. Once again, we've opened up a pop-up store in George Street, right beside McDonald's. We've got up to 70% savings on normal retail. There's some great buys. We have socks right through to suits, everything in between. We'll see you there. The Alex Campbell Menswear pop-up. Don't miss it.
Every reason, every season, we're proud to dress the region. Alex Campbell Menswear, it fits.
135 Cumberland Street is a brand new, recently listed Category 1 heritage building right in Dunedin's warehouse precinct. Only a short walk to the Octagon in the central city, these are warm, well-insulated, self-contained apartments with all you need for a short or long stay. With beautiful views onto the harbour, these Airbnbs at 135 Cumberland Street come highly recommended for your stay in Dunedin.
Thanks for staying with us. The Burt Munro Challenge has brought motorcycle enthusiasts from all around the world to Invercargill. With the number of participants increasing every year, this year has caught the attention of some female riders for their first time at the competition. Sharon Rees has more.
Bianca Bonner was one of the first riders to take on Bluff Hill yesterday, and she eagerly hit the track in last night's drag racing. The Australian thought her first time at the Burt Munro Challenge would be as a spectator, but recently she was given the chance of a lifetime.
I've always wanted to come over to spectate, but the opportunity was arranged through Gardner for us to race up here. So, yeah.
So what do you think of it so far?
Oh, great fun. Yeah, definitely love it.
donned in pink and black with the words Powder Puff stretching across her jacket. Bonner says she's a big advocate for girls getting out and having a go on the bikes.
We can do anything. I was told my brother wanted to ride, and then I was about 4 or 5 years old and I wanted to ride, and Dad said, yeah, no problem. So as long as I could kickstart the bike and wash the bike, there were no rules and see no reason why you can't do it.
Also riding for the first time yesterday was Katie Henry from Dunedin, who said she'd been riding for as long as she could remember.
Dad thinks it's cool, you know, getting out and racing with the daughter. You know, my brother and him used to be doing it, but at that time I was a bit too young, so I had a smaller wee road bike at the time. But yeah, it's good to be out there just doing it and enjoying it.
Burt Munro organisers said pre-registrations for competitors had doubled from last year, which is bringing a broad range of riders. The event has gained the attention of all riders from around the world, male and female, young and experienced. Sharon Rees, The South Today.
The opening ceremony for the Pyeongchang Winter Olympics is set to start in just under 7 hours away. That's midnight tonight, New Zealand time. And one of those attending will be New Zealand's youngest Winter Olympian, 16-year-old Queenstown resident Alison Robinson. Robinson has been training hard ahead of her giant slalom event on Monday.
This is 16-year-old athlete Alice Robinson of Queenstown competing at the 2017 Winter Games at Coronet Peak. She's one of the newbies at the Winter Olympics in Pyeongchang in South Korea, but seems to be taking it all in her stride.
So far it's been pretty amazing seeing the massive teams and all the different people from different sports, especially like in the big dining hall, seeing everyone, and it's pretty cool seeing what everyone else is doing in heaps of different countries. I've never really been at a sports event with and things like that, so it's pretty exciting.
On Monday, 2:15 in the afternoon, Queenstown time, Robinson and her skiers will be at the top of the Winter Olympics giant slalom course, waiting for her turn to compete in the heats.
I just want to ski the best that I can with everything going on and just trying to get an experience for us. So just kind of the whole Olympic environment and everything like that. And yeah, not really too many expectations, more just about gaining experience and understanding the whole Olympic environment.
Robinson arrived at the Winter Olympics Village on Wednesday and is busy training. Come Monday, her focus will be on just one thing.
I think definitely just finding a good headspace to go into like a run and being able to ski the same that I do all the time in training and other races, and just big event would be pretty amazing and exciting.
While Robinson is aiming for a podium finish, she told me the competitive environment made that a very unrealistic expectation at this stage. She is one of 3,000 athletes from 92 countries assembled in Pyeongchang, with competition set to begin Saturday, the 10th of February. Mina Amso, The South Today.
This year's Coast to Coast race started today with a full contingent of competitors intending to get to Christchurch by the end of tomorrow. The South Today went to the start line.
7 a.m. this morning saw about 800 athletes warming up at Serpentine Beach near Kumara. They were there to run, cycle and kayak all the way to New Brighton Beach in Christchurch by tomorrow night. The annual Coast to Coast race has been going since 1983 and is currently sponsored by retail chain Kathmandu. These keen participants have 243 kilometres of hard slog ahead of them, but at least they have 2 days to complete the journey. Spare a thought for the multi-sport enthusiasts who have signed up for the one-day race, entitled The Longest Day, which sees a smaller group starting tomorrow morning and attempting the same course in 1 day. Rudy Adrian, The South Today.
And now recapping tonight's top stories on The South Today. The keys were handed over to the Ocho chocolate team at the site of their new factory today, with production beginning from August this year. Twilight drag racing came to Invercargill's Tiratonga Park last night as part of the Burt Munro Motorcycle Challenge series of events. And the sound of bagpipes hailed the beginning of the centenary celebrations at Dunedin's John McGlashan College today. And now look at what's happening in tomorrow's ODT. Welcome, Craig Page. What have you got for us?
Good evening. Yeah, a main story, we're having a look at the DCC's community housing stocks, and apparently the demand for them is at an all-time high in the city at the moment, and some of the social agencies are saying the situation is as bad as it's ever been. December there was something like 218 people on the waiting list, which was up from 160 in May last year. They've got 940 housing units, the DCC, that's your flats and homes around the city, but the demand at the moment is going out of this world. The Salvation Army is saying it's basically rising costs, the cost of housing and the general cost of living for people, that they can't afford to get their own flats, and that's why they're in this demand. They're using their emergency housing at the moment to temporarily house these people, but they need a long-term solution, so they're going to be getting together with the council in coming weeks to try and sort out some sort of solution to this.
Well, hopefully something happens soon, because there's a huge start-up cost for someone to move into a new flat.
Oh, certainly is.
Yeah,
and not everyone's in that and has that luxury, unfortunately. Following on from the Winter Olympics, good news for Wanaka free skier Beau James Wells, who's today been named the flag bearer for the New Zealand team at the opening ceremony, which is tonight, early hours of the morning. He's competing alongside his brothers Jackson and Byron at the Games, so a big family effort there. So they're all thrilled with it naturally, and hopefully they're going to do well. He competed in the last Winter Games in Sochi and finished 6th in his event, so looking for an improvement there.
Well, hopefully we get a podium finish out of him.
It'd be nice to think, wouldn't it, pick up another medal. And the weekend mix, we take a closer look at the Fringe Festival, the program unveiled this week. We've identified some highlights, one of them being a performance called Elemental, which is a combination of aerial performance, contemporary dance, synchronised swimming and fire dancing. It's going to be held at St Clair Pool, so the mind boggles on that one, but it'll be well worth a look.
That will be really interesting.
It certainly will.
I'll be going along to that. Lovely, thank you, Craig. And now it's time for a look at tomorrow's weather.
This weather update is proudly brought to you by Silverhorn Sportsville.
Today's southern view is of a pedestrian crossing in Dunedin Stewart Street. Looking at the situation, a fine Saturday is in store for most of us, with high cloud increasing during the day and mild, humid northerly quarter winds. Increasing cloud on Sunday and will bring some rain across the region, but they should clear on Monday. Looking at the southern towns, the coastal areas of Balclutha and Catlins can expect light winds, high cloud in 23, some inland for Gore and Lumsden, but slightly warmer at 25. Moving westward to central, everyone here can expect light northerlies with high cloud. Alexandra's high is 26, Queenstown's 25, and Wanaka and Te Anau are at 23. Up to the north, Oamaru and Timaru have light winds, high cloud and 20 degrees, and it's similar for Omarama and Twizel, but a little bit warmer at 23. Here in Dunedin tonight it should be mostly fine with an overnight low of 13. Tomorrow cloudy but rather mild with moderate winds, probably breezy in the afternoon, 21 and 14, and cloudy on Sunday with periods of rain developing in the morning, moderate to fresh breezy northeast winds, rain clearing at night, 18 and 5, so a good sleep in on Sunday. And in Invercargill tonight, mostly fine with an overnight low of 12. Tomorrow warm with sunny periods and high cloud and moderate northerly winds, 24 and 15. And on Sunday, dry with thick high cloud, lowering during the afternoon and evening, some rain developing at night, mild and humid with moderate northeasterly winds, 19 and 14. And that's our news for this Friday. For the latest news from the Southern region, you can follow us on Facebook and at channel39.co.nz. I hope you all have a great evening. Take care. Ka kite anō.
This bulletin proudly brought to you in association with Alex Campbell's Menswear.
Supporting local content so you can see more of New Zealand on air.